All right. So, what we're doing, what we're doing today is I just recorded this acoustic guitar and I comped it. I recorded it over there with my Alvarez acoustic guitar, and here's a taste of what it sounds like. And what I'm trying to do now is I mapped a tempo to it. So everything you see up here is a tempo marker, and you can see it's kind of shifting from 72 beats per minute to 71, 72, 71. So I've adapted this click track to my playing. Here's kind of what it sounds like all together. So we've got the click track, and now what I want to do is I did a drum track before using Addictive Drums 2. This pretty good plugin, really realistic sounding drums. And what I'm wanting to do is to make sure something is soloed here, apparently. We're just going to mute all of our other things. Here's a couple older acoustic guitar tracks, a slide guitar, a piano track, percussion, submix. We're going to mute that. And we have our drums. We're going to mute our bass and our scratch track. This was just me playing guitar and voice. I'm going to hide that for now. And bass we're going to mute. So all we're trying to do right now is sync up the drums with the guitar so that it sounds natural. Because the thing is, when you're not recording to a consistent locked in beat, your drums, I mean, if you've played in a live situation, obviously the tempo is going to move around a bit. And one of the issues I have with a lot of music today is everything sounds so precise and perfect and locked to a click. And if you listen back to music in like the 70s and before that, things felt a lot more alive. So what I'm trying to do is keep that going. So for this example, what I want to do, I'm going to focus just on the intro, which starts here, and the first verse, because in this section, it's only acoustic guitar and drums with like a couple other little things like percussion. I think I've got just little things, but it's mostly just drums and guitar. So it's really important that these sound locked in together. So here we go. We're going to try to do this. Without the click track on. So that sounds pretty good. The only thing here, as you might be able to tell, this little hit here. Here it is. It's a little early. And I don't like things to be too precise. What I like to do is click and drag it over. And this marker is not locked in there. So I can click and drag this over to where the beat is. And we've got a kick, a hat, like a foot splash, and a ride hit. So let's hear that now. That sounded good, actually. I love, you don't look at your screen when you're doing this. Use your ears. Just go by what feels good. So this little kick drum, not a huge fan of that. We're leaving space here. It's the beginning of the song. We want to leave a lot of space to grow it. So we're trying to keep things really minimal. I do have this hi-hat. Again, we're doing like a foot closing of the hi-hat to keep the quarter note. That little hit, we're gonna get rid of that. There's a snare hit, I think of the second one. I think it might be a little late. That one. And that one seems a little bit late. So what if I tried to just modify that slightly? So what you can do in Reaper, right there's our hit. So there's our transient. And if I hit E, oops, I don't usually do it like this. If I hit, okay, so here we are in the little editor, and we're just gonna try to nudge that just a hair. That felt better. Okay, a couple things here. So we're just into the halfway mark of our verse. That snare sound, it's a little dull. Now I could bring the velocity up. That's kind of how hard it's being hit. And that does change the tone of it. There's our kick drums. Bring those up just a touch. That kick drum sounds a bit late, and if we look at it, it is a bit late. So let's move this forward a little bit. And what I like to do here is you can visually lock the track height of this guy so that doesn't move. You can visually see where the transient hits are. Better. Now that could be a little bit early. So why don't we take that and slide that in a little bit. Okay, I like that. We're not trying to get it perfect. We just want it to feel good, right? It's just about the feel. So here's the second half. So we're halfway through our verse here. And you know what? We'll just throw a marker in there for fun. Whoops, what did I do? I did 0.5. And I had programmed in this sort of hi-hat part, but I don't like it. There's going to be a shaker there instead, so I'm actually just going to get rid of that. These are just different variations of the hi-hat sample. All right, so different velocities, different types of hits. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to keep in our foot, closed foot hat, whatever that's called. So it's a bit of a mess here. I don't know if I want 4 on the floor kick drums here. I do kind of like it on 2 though. That's kind of cool actually. But we do want something on the 3. Like open hit, like an open hi-hat. We sort of want that. So when it comes to writing drum parts, you kind of have to just imagine what a drummer might do. So we got two cymbals and a hit. Maybe we do a little. Yeah. That's not right. And I feel like we need another hit kick there. Bump, bump. And one. I'm gonna get rid of that. Sometimes I just like to mute those hits because we might want them back. Could just be the feel. Could just be we want like a more of a swung feel. So what if we did? So that's the 16th note. I like that. Maybe we do want 4 on the floor. That's kind of cool. I do kind of like a bit of that. Cool. And right there, we want to do one more hit. That hit. And because we're hitting the hi-hat, we're not doing our foot close anymore. So we want this to be about here. It's kind of cool. I want these to be a bit quieter though. And the other thing is the alternating the velocity. So if you think about it, then it's done hard soft, done, hard soft, hard soft. So we alternate these guys. So this one's got to be a little quieter. Right there. And that, make it a 16th note. Getting there. It's starting to sound more organic. How can I increase zoom in view? Oh, I don't know how to zoom in here. Doesn't matter. There we go. It's kind of what I want to do. So there's our transient. Whoa. That to be harder. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're getting there. Getting somewhere here. So you might be able to tell, but we're pushing the beat, so we're rushing the beat just a touch. Because the guitar seems to be rushing a bit. Nice. Let's get our velocities right. And let's get our hi-hat piece in there. So we're going to delete that. We're going to, this is a really messy way to do it, but trying to lock into our, nice. That's what we're missing. I don't know if that's a 16th note, or I guess it would be here. So rushed a bit there. Whoops. The hat gets closed once, so you hit the open hi-hat and then the foot closes it right when the snare hits. Okay, good enough for now. And then our kick drums, boost those up a bit. It's a bit late and this snare could be a bit. That was pretty good. Touch late. So you gotta turn snapping off, right? You're gonna nudge. This is also a bit late. Almost. I want it to be harder here. That's good. Okay, so that snare is too late. Touch late here on our tambourine. Let's bring her. It's feeling good, feeling good. Almost there. This is, so these are not even in sync with each other. It's a hair. Early. That felt good. All right, we're on our third bar. Let's get our hi-hat in place here. I feel like this this snare, I might need to go in there and change the snare I'm using. That feels a little weird. It's a little late. It's better. Okay, we're getting there. Let me get my hi-hat in there. Something I want to do. There's something missing. I feel like we need a hit. So these cymbals are... something to keep the momentum. Yeah. So what I want to do is grab this and this, our hi-hats. Move it over here. Does feel a little early. Hi-hats. This one in particular. It's a little better. It's just the snare. I want it to be sharper. That might be something I do. Well, I was going to say do it in mixing, but you really should try to get your tones right before you get into mixing. Okay, here, let's get the timing right here first. Whoa. It's off. So those are early. Let's bring the dynamics up a bit here too. Feels pretty good. Okay, we're on to the last bar. And there's something, the kick drum, this guy. Okay, let's, fourth bar. Let's get our kicks in place first. Let's mute those for a second. Let's bring our kick over a bit. Let's boost up the velocity. It's better. Let's get our hat in our... a little early. Those are early too. How would the velocity of those kicks be? They'd be pretty even. Okay. That sounds pretty good, actually. Let's get our hi-hat working. Oops. Here we go. Almost. And there we're going to simplify it a little bit because our kick drum's doing something different. Our hat's going to do something a bit different too. We're just going to do dun 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 dun, basically. I actually want to change the hits. This actually sounds better. Pretty good. Okay. Quick little adjustment I want to do here on our hats. I want these to come down and these to come up, like what we've done here. I think I might mess that up. So these gotta come down. These have to come, this has to come up. Because the harder hits are on the most closed part of the hat. All right, let's have a listen to the whole, let's have a listen to the whole thing again. I like that. This hi-hats to be almost imperceptible. It's a bit late. Yeah, this is sounding pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Let's bring this up a bit. Sick. Cool. So that's sounding pretty good to me. And that's an important piece of this. So, yeah, I mean, keeping that live sounding feel in your productions usually starts with recording a live track. And if you don't have a band recording everything at once, you have to do it piece at a time. So I started with the acoustic guitar and I had a drum piece. This is my second time recording this acoustic guitar because I wanted to refine the part. So I worked on the part a bit, simplified it, recorded it again today. And so I had needed to adjust the drum slightly to fit the new performance. So from here on, I would basically go through the rest of the song and make sure everything's sounding good. But for this video, that's going to do it. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I'll look for you in the comments, and thanks for watching.